Few animals can survive amongst the peaks of the highest mountains on Earth. But the Himalayan Ibex thrives here. Over 2 years in the making, this film reveals for the first time the extraordinary lives of these tough wild goats in their formidable environment. Himalayan Ibex, with their majestic horns and beards, are truly monarchs of the Himalayas. Scientists believe that the various species of ibex and other wild goats that inhabit the high, arid mountains of Europe, North Africa, and Central Asia evolved and dispersed during the ice ages that began some 2.6 million years ago. A large, well-built subspecies of the Siberian Ibex, the Himalayan Ibex, lives in the mountains of India and Pakistan. Lying in the rain shadow of the greater Himalayas, the vast trans-Himalaya is a high-altitude desert. The Himalayan Ibex has evolved to take advantage of a particular rugged ecological niche, existing well above the tree line, between 3,500 and 5,000 meters. Smaller than ibex, the Himalayan blue sheep or bharal shares the same habitat. Male bharal grow short, outward curving horns. Both species must remain alert for their nemesis, the snow leopard. The realm of the ibex is so harsh and inaccessible that most wildlife photographers have been discouraged.
I have been always fascinated by the Himalayan Ibex with his curved horns and long beard. They are such beautiful animal for photography.
Rajesh set out on a challenging mission with his brother Naresh on 30-hour-long journey to the remote Spiti Valley in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Traveling on these mountain roads with falling stones and landslides was life-threatening. In 4 decades as a nature photographer, Rajesh has traveled throughout India to capture award-winning photographs of rare and endangered species. At 14,000 feet, the bone-chilling temperatures, often intensified by icy winds, made it tough going for Rajesh and his team. They wouldn't have made it without the Yanks.
देखिए अभी तो हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है बिल्कुल भी ना सांस की दिक्कत है सिर दर्द नहीं कुछ नहीं फिट है एकदम काम
बिल्कुल जी शायद प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगी
हैं
क्योंकि काफ़ी दिन एक्लेमेटाइज हो चुका है जी
क्या हाइट क्या है यहाँ पे अभी
4,300 नहीं होगा जी 250 इससे ज़्यादा नहीं
It has taken the team more than 3 hours to find the first group of ibex, and they are on the move. Ibex can withstand bitterly cold temperatures of several degrees below freezing. Winter is long and severe in the realm of the ibex. It is a critical time as forage is of low quality and hard to reach. Unlike other wild goats, ibex will dig to reach plants hidden below the thick covering of snow. Ibex can live up to 15 years. However, males often die around 8 years of age. Weakened by malnourishment and exhausted by the rut, they succumb to the cold, disease, or fall prey to snow leopards or wolves. There are about 1,200 stray dogs in Spiti landscape. They are becoming bolder and more aggressive, a real nuisance for wildlife. Like their wild cousin, they also hunt in a pack and can tackle much larger prey. They are known even to challenge snow leopards and take away their kills. The Forest Department must find ways to control the dog menace before the problem gets completely out of hand. The Spiti Valley is one of the most thinly populated regions in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The native Bhutia are Buddhist and have a close relationship with their environment, the result of thousands of years of coexistence with the wildlife around them. The ibex is considered particularly sacred and believed to be an incarnation of Lord Buddha. The ibex has been an integral part of the ancient history and culture of this mountain desert. Rock carvings of ibex are found throughout the region, and some are as much as 3,000 years old. The shamanic Bon religion was practiced here before the arrival of Buddhism more than 1,000 years ago. Ibex were hunted for food, but were also considered a symbol of fertility and sacrificed at Thanksgiving rituals. Bon traditions have been incorporated into Tibetan Buddhism, and so the veneration of the ibex continues. Ibex feed during the early morning and evening, usually taking a rest in the middle of the day. An opportunity for these ruminants to chew the cud. A yawn and a stretch, and it's back to feeding again. They prefer steep southern slopes for feeding, which have less snow at this time of the year. Feeding on grass, moss, and small shrubs, they usually don't wander much in a day, but occasionally they may travel up to 5 kilometers. Most remain in the same area all year round. By April, most of the snow on the lower slopes is melting. Gompo's knowledge and experience of the area makes him an essential member of Rajesh's team. Finding ibex in this vast landscape is not easy. The air is so thin that Rajesh was out of breath after just a few steps. Yaks are the most important animals the villagers keep. Easy to maintain. They provide muscle power, milk, hair, and meat. But the large number of yaks compete with the ibex and bharal for the scarce forage available.
I've been following this herd of 50 ibex as they move up and down the mountains with the seasons. Seeing me so often, they have started to accept my presence.
Bucks and does only come together during the winter rut. After it is over, they form single-sex herds and go their separate ways. Stocky, well-muscled legs give ibex the strength to climb and leap among the rocks. Their pointed, cloven hooves have sharp edges to catch on rough surfaces and soft pads that act like suction cups on smooth rock. As soon as the snow melts from the lower slopes, the villagers begin to prepare their land. They can raise only one crop during the short growing season. There is no monsoon season in the Spiti Valley, as rain-bearing clouds are intercepted by the greater Himalayas to the south and east. The longer day length, warmer weather, and snow melt trigger dormant plants into growth each spring, painting the mountain slopes ever brighter shades of green. The ibex eagerly lick soil rich in salts and other minerals to supplement their diet. A dense underfur of fine wool or pasham grows during the winter, enabling ibex to withstand extremely low temperatures. This insulating layer is molted in the spring and early summer, after which they acquire a paler, cooler coat. The molt may be uncomfortable, or perhaps the ibex are beginning to feel too warm. Rubbing up against woody shrubs helps them get rid of their woolly underlayer. The fine wool was once gathered to make the famous pashmina or cashmere shawls. Nowadays, the villagers don't find it worth the time and effort involved, and it is left to blow away in the wind. Green fields of pea and barley stand out in the barren landscape. The villagers work hard to grow these crops, which are their main source of sustenance and income for the entire year. But they have an increasing problem. A group of bharal wait for an opportunity to slip into the fields. Fences have gone up to keep out ibex and bharal that are all too keen to feast on the nutritious crops the villagers so carefully nurture. As the villagers go home, the fields fall silent. And crop raiders quickly make their move. In the past, ibex and bharal were hunted and they learned to fear people. But now, following many years of protection, they have become bolder. Stringent laws protect the ibex, so the villagers cannot kill or even harm them. To minimize the conflict, the Forest Department, besides putting up fences, has started employing villagers as guards to chase these sneaky thieves away. For the time being, the raiders are banished, but they will be back. Ibex can dash up and down terrifying cliff faces with ease. Here they find refuge from predators. From a distance, the ibex are very hard to spot. But the equally well-camouflaged snow leopard has keen eyes. and will wait patiently for one of them to come within reach. But to be in the right place at the right time to capture a snow leopard hunting on camera is incredibly unlikely. On a few occasions, Rajesh was close to witnessing a hunt, but the action always happened just out of view. Predators have an important role to play in this fragile mountain ecosystem, controlling the populations of ibex and other wild goats, and so maintaining the delicate balance of life. The fox and the young lammergeier wait their turn. Nothing will go to waste. The sharp beaks of griffin vultures will pick the carcass clean. There is no shortage of food in spring. The ibex feed as much as they can to recover the weight they lost during the hard winter months. Bucks spend much of their time alone, but males also form bachelor groups of a similar age to themselves. This unique habitat is home to more than 900 plant species. Several of them are known to have medicinal properties. An ibex's horns grow throughout its life, adding 2 protuberant knobs each year. Male horns may reach about 1.5 meters or 5 feet long. They are primarily used to see off predators and fighting for territory, dominance, and mating. With the improved weather, thousands of pashmina goats and sheep arrive to graze these high-altitude pastures, driven by herders from lowlands far away. Here they compete with local flocks for the short-lived vegetation. Some of the local villages are working together to oppose this annual invasion, as they know their pastures will be overgrazed. Village yaks and other livestock, along with visiting goats and sheep, have a considerable impact on ibex and bharal populations, excluding them from many of their natural pastures. Rajesh has been camping for over 2 weeks, hoping to photograph young ibex kids and their rarely seen behavior.
जो इनके बच्चे की जगह है वहाँ पे जाना मुश्किल है
वो तो कहीं नहीं जगह वो कम 2-3 मंजिल तक खड्डा होगा फिर थोड़ा क्लब होगा
डेंजर है
Pregnant females retreat alone or in small groups to the steepest cliffs. Here, they give birth well out of the reach of predators. Incredibly, they can jump straight up almost 2 meters. They appear fearless as they scale dizzyingly steep cliffs.
बच्चे लगता नहीं लगता
3 है
Kids are often left well hidden for a few days. Golden eagles will snatch them if they can. This doe suckles twin kids. Usually, only one is born about a month after the snow melts. From the moment they are born, ibex kids are very alert and can jump around. They soon become remarkably sure-footed. After 4 weeks, they are ready to join the other lively youngsters. The kids arrive just in time for the brief flush of green vegetation. Mothers replenish reserves used up during the lean winter season, ready to suckle and protect their young. Autumn has arrived. The many shades of green slowly turn yellow and brown. The growing kids are developing dense pasham wool to insulate them for the fast approaching winter. The strong bond between mother and kid will last for about a year. Although still provided with milk, they have started to nibble the dry vegetation. The adult males now look their finest, with a striking dark brown coat and white saddle. The males thrash the bushes to mark them with a smelly secretion from their preorbital glands just in front of their eyes. The rut is about to begin. As testosterone levels rise, the bucks begin sizing each other up for the struggle to come. They establish a hierarchy based on size and strength. A contest starts with a parallel walk. By rearing up, they can use their weight to land a heavy blow. With reinforced skulls, they may only feel a bit stunned and retire with a sore head. Pursuing ibex at an altitude of 4,300 meters is no easy task. The previous year, bad weather prevented Rajesh from photographing rut behavior. Now, with an early snowfall, he has returned to try his luck again. Today, there is a scent in the air, and it is of overwhelming interest to all the bucks. This curling of the upper lip and closing the nostrils is known as the Flamen response. It enables the male to draw air over an organ in the roof of his mouth, which detects the scent released by a female when she is in estrus. The excited young males approach does with head held low and tongue flapping. This courtship display is irresistible to females. But mating is the privilege of the dominant male in the group. As the rut progresses, bucks pursue any does in estrus and will use many tactics to win them over. Male ibex are remarkably smelly. Penis-mouthing sprays urine over their face, beard, and legs. Self-anointing helps spread their malodorous message that they are ready to mate, and as a warning to rivals to keep their distance.
After waiting in freezing temperature for days, at last, I think luck is with me. The dominant buck has challenged an older male, and it looks like a serious contest.
The does don't seem interested in the serious combat going on around them. The fight continues for over an hour. The younger, darker male is clearly stronger and more energetic. The dominant buck doesn't want to see the intruder anywhere near his females. Exhausted by the long fight, the older male cuts his losses and beats a hasty retreat. Once the hierarchy is established, the subordinate males defer to the bigger, dominant buck, who takes possession of the does. The Himalayan Ibex is listed as an endangered species and is protected by law. Several sanctuaries have been designated for them in India.
I'm really concerned about their future. With increasing human pressures, competition for grazing, and impact of climate change may threaten the Himalayan ibex and other wildlife of this fragile habitat.
With the onset of winter, it's once again time for the rut. The dominant buck closely escorts and guards his small harem of does until each is ready to mate. Initially, this doe rejects the buck's tongue-flapping approach. When ready, she urinates, signaling her acceptance. The healthy, dominant bucks will make sure that all the estrus does are impregnated. With luck, another generation will be born into this formidable landscape to ensure the continued survival of these remarkable monarchs of the Himalayas.